My beloved child, I have called your name across the vastness of time and space to bring you to this exact moment. For this is no coincidence. I see you standing at the edge of the unknown, your heart trembling with a fear you often hide from the world, the fear of what lies beyond the veil of this life. You have heard the whispers of the world, those sweet lies that tell you that the concept of a final reckoning is but a shadow, a mistake of my love, or a myth designed to bind you. But I am here to whisper a deeper truth into your soul, a truth that will set you free if you have the courage to listen. I know you fear the darkness. I know you doubt the path you walk. And I know you are looking for a way out of the confusion that has clouded your spirit. Before I reveal the immense blessing and the path of grace I have prepared for you, declare your presence before me. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 right now to open the gates of heaven and let my light pour into your life. This is the moment your spiritual shift begins, and I do not want you to walk this path alone. Join this family of believers and press the like button to signal your agreement with heaven. And subscribe to this vessel so that my voice may always find its way to your heart. They have told you, my precious one, that a God of infinite love could never allow a place of separation, that the idea of justice is beneath my nature. But listen closely to the rhythm of my heart. My love and my justice are not enemies. They are the two hands with which I hold the universe together. You cry out when you see the innocent suffer. You demand fairness when the wicked prosper. And you long for a world where every wrong is made right. That very hunger for justice in your soul is a reflection of my own image within you. Hell is not a failure of my love, nor is it a sign that my mercy has run dry. It is, in truth, the pinnacle of the very justice that your own heart has been pleading for since the dawn of time. I am the potter, and you are the clay. And I have seen every tear you shed in the dark when the world treated you with cruelty. Do not believe the lie that your pain goes unnoticed or that the scales will never be balanced. If there were no final accountability, then your struggle for righteousness would be in vain, and the sacrifices you make would have no meaning. But I tell you, every act has its weight, and every soul chooses its final destination. I see the weariness in your eyes, and the silent tears that fall when you wonder if you are truly enough. You have been told that you can define your own truth, that good and evil are merely suggestions. But this is the trap that leads to the very abyss you fear. I am the Eternal One, the Alpha and the Omega, and my standards are not moving targets that shift with the seasons of man. I see the battle you fight within, the war between the person the world wants you to be and the holy creation I intended you to become. You are not being punished. You are being trained for a weight of glory that you cannot yet comprehend. This message is my hand reaching down into your storm, pulling you toward the rock that cannot be moved. The world offers you a temporary comfort built on a foundation of sand. But I offer you a peace that surpasses all understanding, rooted in the absolute reality of my word. Trust my timing and my purpose, for I did not bring you this far to leave you in the shadows of doubt. You are being built into something magnificent, and the first step of that transformation is acknowledging the truth of my sovereign authority over all creation. My child, I have heard the echoes of your heart in the dead of night, when the world is silent and your mind is loud. I have seen the tears you tried so hard to swallow, the ones that burned with the sting of being overlooked, undervalued, and betrayed. I know the bitterness that rises in your throat when you look around and see those who walk in darkness, those who lie and cheat and step over the brokenhearted, yet seem to be rewarded with the very things you have prayed for. You ask me, Where is your hand, Father? Why do the hands that destroy hold the gold, while the hands that serve hold only thorns? I have felt your exhaustion as you strive to live with integrity in a world that seems to mock the righteous. I have seen you being pushed down by the weight of systemic unfairness, feeling as though your goodness is a weakness that only invites more pain. But hear my voice now, whispering into the depths of your soul. Your tears are not lost in the wind. They are collected in my bottle. Every moment you were mistreated, every time you were silenced when you spoke the truth, and every instance where you chose kindness over revenge, I was there. I am the witness to the secret battles you have fought and the silent victories you have won. I want you to pause right now and take a deep, soul-cleansing breath. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the heavy, invisible burden that has been resting upon your shoulders. The weight of trying to fix a broken world and the exhaustion of carrying the questions that have no earthly answers. Feel that weight beginning to dissolve under the warmth of my presence. I am the vindicator, the one who sees beneath the surface of things. The prosperity of the wicked is but a fleeting vapor, a momentary spark that will soon be swallowed by the night. You look at the current chapter of your life and you see a tragedy. But I am the author who sees the final page, where every tear is turned into a diamond and every scar becomes a badge of honor. You are not being forgotten, you are being refined. The fire that feels like it is consuming you is actually purifying you, separating the dross from the gold. I have allowed you to feel this deep hunger for justice, so that you would seek the only one who can truly provide it. Do not let the shadow of other people's sins darken the light I have placed inside you. You were chosen to carry a different kind of power, a power that does not rely on the world's approval, but on my eternal decree. I am the God of the second chance, the God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. I see the injustice you have faced at the hands of those you trusted, and I am already moving pieces on the board of your life that you cannot see. The doors that were slammed in your face were my protection, and the paths that were blocked were my redirection. You have been mourning over losses that were actually divine subtractions, clearing the space for the sudden provision that is about to manifest in your reality. Believe me when I say that the truth is often hidden from those who only look with their physical eyes. But for you, the chosen one, I am opening the eyes of your spirit to see the victory that is already won. You are not behind in life. You are being strategically positioned for a manifestation of my glory that will leave the world in awe. Those who mocked your faith will soon witness your favor. But remember, my beloved, that my justice does not operate on the clock of man. I am the master of timing, and I know exactly when to bring the harvest. Do not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap if you do not lose heart. I am getting you prepared to handle the weight of a blessing so massive that it requires a character forged in the furnace of patience. Every time you were treated unfairly and you chose to remain silent and trust me, you passed a test that qualified you for a higher level of authority. You are moving from the season of the hidden struggle into the season of the public testimony. This is the moment where the cry of injustice is replaced by the song of deliverance. Keep your eyes fixed on me, and you will see that I did not bring you through the fire to leave you smelling like smoke, but to make you fireproof for the destiny that awaits you. My precious child, I see the courtroom that you have built within your own mind. I see how you sit on the bench of judgment every night, weighing your every word, your every thought, and your every mistake on a scale that is broken by fear. You have been told that I am a cold bookkeeper, waiting with a heavy pen to strike your name through for the smallest of stumbles. You carry the crushing anxiety that a single moment of anger, a fleeting thought of doubt, or a mistake you made years ago has already tipped the scales against you forever. You are exhausted from the performance, weary of trying to be good enough when the bar seems to move higher every time you think you've reached it. I have seen you staring at the ceiling in the dark, wondering if all your efforts to live a righteous life are in vain, because you cannot seem to reach the perfection you think I demand. But hear me now. I did not create you to be a robot of perfection. I created you to be a vessel of my love. The scales in your mind are tipped by the lies of the enemy, who wants you to believe that my grace is fragile and my patience is short. This constant striving has left your spirit parched, like a desert gasping for a single drop of rain. You look at your life and you feel like you are running a race with no finish line, doing everything right but seeing no harvest, while those who ignore my laws seem to walk on paths of ease. You feel the weight of an unfairness that goes beyond the world. You feel it in your relationship with me. You think, why should I keep my heart pure? Why should I hold my tongue? Why should I sacrifice my desires when I still feel the shadow of judgment hanging over me? My beloved, you are trying to earn what has already been given, and you are trying to pay a debt that has already been settled. The exhaustion you feel is the result of carrying a burden I never asked you to bear. I see your heart, and I see the sincerity beneath your struggles. I do not look at the stumble. I look at the direction in which you are walking. You are not breaking, you are becoming. The very fact that you worry about pleasing me is the evidence that my spirit is alive and breathing within you. I have watched you in those private moments when you felt like giving up on your faith because the pressure was too great. I saw you when you whispered, "Lord, I can't do this anymore." And I want you to know that those were the moments you were closest to my heart. It is at the end of your strength that my power begins. The enemy has used the concept of my justice to make you afraid of my presence. But my justice is what protects you from the darkness. You are not a slave trying to avoid the whip. You are a child of the King who is being prepared for a crown. The mistakes you think are so massive that they could sink your soul are nothing compared to the ocean of my mercy. Stop trying to balance the scales yourself. I have already stepped onto the scale on your behalf. Take a deep breath and let the tension leave your body. You are safe with me. You are loved beyond measure, not for what you do, but for whose you are. The shift has already begun, and the light is starting to break through the clouds of your mind. My child, you have often fallen into the trap of using your own small, flickering candle of understanding to judge the sun of my eternal wisdom. You look at the tragedies of the world and the complexities of life, and you dare to ask if I have made a mistake. You use your emotions, which are as unstable as the waves of the sea, as the foundation for your truth. You feel hurt, so you assume I am mean. You feel confused, so you assume I am absent. But I tell you, your feelings are not the facts of my character. You are looking through a tiny keyhole at a grand palace, and from that limited view, you are trying to describe the architecture of eternity. You define what is good and what is fair based on your current comfort, but I define what is good based on the eternal destiny of your soul. Do not be deceived by the wisdom of this world, which is but foolishness in my sight. You are trying to measure the infinite with a ruler made of dust. I see your frustration when things do not go as planned. But remember that my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are higher than your ways. I have seen you trying to build your own version of morality, deciding for yourself what should be punished and what should be excused. This is the very trap that led to the fall of man. The desire to be like me without having my perspective. When you lean on your own understanding, you become lost in a maze of your own making. You chase after what feels right in the moment, only to find that it leads to a hollow end. Stop trying to figure out every why and every how. If I explain the complexity of my plans to you, your mind could not contain the weight of it. Instead, I ask you to trust my heart, even when you cannot trace my hand. I am the potter, and I know exactly why I am pressing into the clay in certain places. The pressure that you call suffering is often the very touch you need to be shaped into a vessel of honor. Lean not on your own understanding, for your wisdom is a drop in the ocean of my omniscience. Trust in me with all your heart, and I will make your path straight, even when they seem to lead through the valley of the shadow. Trust me, my beloved, for I see the end from the beginning, and my plans for you are for your good and not for your destruction. You are at a crossroads where you must choose between the mirror of your own ego and the window of my revelation. The trap of your emotions is that they tell you that what you see is all there is. They tell you that your pain is permanent and that your situation is hopeless. But I tell you that your current struggle is just a page in a much larger story. Your finite wisdom sees a dead end. My infinite wisdom sees a new beginning. Your emotions say it's over, but my word says it's just the start. Do not let your heart be troubled by the things you cannot control or the questions you cannot answer. Release the need to be the judge of your own life and the judge of my universe. Come back to the simplicity of being a child who holds their father's hand in the dark. In that surrender, you will find the strength that your logic could never provide. And you will see that what you thought was a trap was actually the training ground for your greatest victory. My beloved child, let me take you deeper into the mystery of why the heart of man so often feels a weight it cannot explain. You have often wondered why a small mistake seems to carry such a heavy price in the spiritual realm. You look at your life through the lens of human time, where everything is temporary. But I look at everything through the lens of eternity. You see, the gravity of an offense is not measured only by the act itself, but by the dignity of the one who is offended. If you swat a fly in your garden, no one notices, for its life is fleeting and its presence small. If you strike a neighbor, there is a conflict and a cost. If you were to strike a king or the leader of a great nation, the consequence would be immense, not because you changed, but because of the high office you defied. Now consider me. I am the one who was before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the whole world. From everlasting to everlasting, I am God. When you choose to walk away from me, you are not just making a human mistake. You are defying the infinite source of all life, beauty, and holiness. Because I am an infinite being, an offense against my nature carries an infinite weight. You were created for a purpose that stretches far beyond the stars. And when you allow darkness into your heart, it creates a chasm that no human effort can bridge. You cannot pay a debt of infinite value with the currency of finite deeds. This is why the world's goodness can never be enough to heal the separation. It is like trying to fill the ocean with a single teaspoon of water. The scale of the problem is simply too vast for you to solve on your own. I tell you this not to make you feel small, but to help you understand the magnitude of what I have done for you. You were facing a debt you could never pay, a weight that would have crushed your soul for all eternity. Yet my love for you is so great that I could not leave you to face that destiny alone. The price is infinite, because your value to me is infinite. I want you to understand that my holiness is not a wall to keep you out, but a fire that consumes everything that would harm you. Because I am perfectly just, I cannot simply ignore the darkness that destroys my creation. If I did, I would no longer be God. But because I am perfectly love, I provided the way for that justice to be satisfied. While you remain safe in my arms, you are not just a random person in a crowd of billions. You are a soul that was planned before the foundations of the world were laid. Every breath you take is a gift from my spirit, and every beat of your heart is a reminder that you belong to the infinite. Do not let the simplicity of this world blind you to the grandeur of your eternal reality. You are standing on holy ground, and the shift you are feeling right now is the weight of my glory beginning to replace the weight of your shame. Trust me, my child, for I have already paid the price that you could never afford. My precious one, there is a subtle enemy who does not always attack with a roar, but often with a whisper that sounds like compassion. He uses the faces of those you love and the trends of the society you live in to tempt you into a dangerous compromise. He tells you that to be truly loving, you must accept everything, even that which destroys the soul. He calls it tolerance, but I call it the erosion of the foundation. You feel the pressure to blend in, to soften the edges of the truth I have written on your heart, and to nod your head when the world calls evil good and good evil. This is the invisible battle, the spiritual warfare that takes place in the quiet choices of your daily life. Do not be deceived by the majority. The path to life is narrow for a reason. I see the courage it takes for you to stand apart. And I am the one who gives you the strength to remain unyielding in a world that is constantly shifting. I see your heart, full of empathy and a desire to help those who are falling. But listen to my wisdom. If you see someone in a deep pit and you jump in with them without a rope, you have not saved them. You have only increased the number of the fallen. There is a temptation to jump into the pit out of a misguided sense of loyalty or a fear of being judged as unloving. The world says that if you do not agree with their choices, you are their enemy. But I tell you, true love is a lighthouse, not a fellow shipwreck. If you compromise the truth to make someone feel comfortable in their darkness, you are hiding the very light they need to find their way home. You cannot pull someone up if you have lost your own footing on the rock. Stand firm on the truth of my word, for it is the only rope strong enough to pull a soul out of the abyss. There are those in your life who may walk away because you refuse to descend into the pit with them. This is the discouragement test I have placed before you. It feels like rejection, it feels like loneliness, but in reality, it is my divine shielding. I am pruning the branches that would only lead you into the shadows. Do not let the fear of being canceled or misunderstood by man outweigh the peace of being known and approved by me. I have destined you for the heights, and the weight of the world's expectations will only hinder your flight. If you remain aligned with my spirit, you will eventually become a beacon for the very people who once mocked your stance. They will remember your light when their own candles go out in the wind of life's trials. Remember, my child, I did not call you to be popular. I called you to be purposeful. The enemy wants you to believe that you are being hateful when you are being holy. Do not agree with the lie. When you stand on the truth, you are offering the highest form of love, the love that points toward eternal life rather than temporary comfort. I am with you in the fire of public opinion, and I will make you fireproof. You are not losing your community. You are being prepared for a divine assembly. Stay on the high ground. Keep your eyes on the horizon and trust that as you hold on to my hand, I will give you the wisdom to reach out to the fallen without falling yourself. The shift you are looking for is found in your unwavering commitment to the truth that never changes. My beloved child, the world speaks a language of shadows, using words that sound like mine but carry a different spirit. They have taken the word love and stripped it of its power, turning it into a synonym for indulgence. To the world, love means never saying no, never correcting, and never pointing out the cliff's edge. But in the language of heaven, love is the fire that rescues. A surgeon's knife is not hateful when it cuts out a tumor. It is the ultimate act of life-saving care. I do not love you by tolerating the darkness that destroys you. I love you by calling you out of it. The world's dictionary is designed to keep you comfortable on the path to destruction. But my language is designed to make you holy on the path to life. You must learn to discern the difference between the soothing lies of the wolf and the sharp, life-giving truth of the shepherd. I see you struggling to translate the pressures of your environment into the peace of my presence. Do not be confused by the noise of the crowd, for their definitions are written in sand, while my word is carved in eternity. I see the battle within you, when you are forced to choose between the approval of man and the approval of your Father. The world says that if you do not agree with its ever-changing definitions, you are cold or intolerant. But I tell you, it is the highest form of warmth to hold on to a lighthouse when the ships are lost at sea. There is a distinction between the sheep who are lost and the wolves who are hungry for chaos. My sheep hear my voice, and they know that my correction is a caress, not a curse. The wolf, however, will always twist my words to make my justice look like cruelty and my boundaries look like a prison. You were not created to be an echo of the world's confusion. You were created to be a voice of my clarity. As you learn the language of heaven, you will find that grace does not mean it doesn't matter, but rather, I will give you the power to change. This is the miracle of the Spirit, that you no longer have to fit into the dictionary of the world, but can live by every word that proceeds from my mouth. If you are tired of the world's shifting definitions and you are ready to anchor your soul in the unchanging truth of my kingdom, let this be a moment of divine alignment. Consider offering a super thanks to this vessel right now to help keep this lighthouse burning bright for others who are still wandering in the fog of the world's lies. Your generosity is an act of faith, a commitment to filling your container with the words of life rather than the noise of the world. Do not let the enemy drown out my voice. Stay close, stay connected, and let my truth be the foundation upon which you build your house. By acting as a vessel for the language of the Spirit, you help reach those who are starving for the truth. My child, start speaking the language of your home. Instead of saying I am overwhelmed, say, my God is my refuge and my strength. Instead of saying I am a failure, say I am being built into a masterpiece by the Master's hand. Your words are seeds, and the dictionary you choose to use determines the harvest you will reap in your life. When you speak the language of heaven, you invite the atmosphere of heaven into your room, your family, and your future. The world will not understand you, and that is a sign that you are doing it right. You are a citizen of a different realm, a chosen one who carries the vocabulary of the Spirit. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, rooted in the absolute certainty of my love. The shift you seek is not found in changing your circumstances, but in changing the language you use to describe them. Trust me, for my word is the only thing that will remain when the dictionaries of this world have all turned to dust. My child, listen closely, for with the light I am pouring into your soul today comes a weight of responsibility you must not ignore. You are not here by chance. I have drawn you to this message because you are ready for the meat of the word, not just the milk. There is a spiritual law that remains unchanged throughout the ages. To whom much is given, much is required. By listening to these words, by feeling the tug of my Spirit upon your heart, you have been given a treasure of understanding that many in this world are still searching for in the dark. You can no longer claim the innocence of the blind, for your eyes have begun to see the truth of my kingdom. This knowledge is not meant to be a trophy for your ego, but a compass for your soul. I have seen you living as if your time is endless and your choices have no echoes in eternity. But I am here to wake you up from that slumber. Your soul is too precious to be left to the whims of a distracted life. Every truth you receive is a seed, and I will look for the harvest in the season to come. Do not let this moment pass as just another video you watched. Let it be the line in the sand where your life changes forever. I am a God of perfect justice, and my judgment is not a blind hammer, but a precise scale. I take into account the light you were given and the path you were called to walk. There are those who wander in deep ignorance, never having heard my name or felt the warmth of my grace. Their reckoning will be measured by what they knew. But for you, my chosen one, who hears my voice whispering in the silence of your room, the standard is higher. I have revealed to you the mysteries of my love and the reality of my justice. If you continue to walk in the ways of the world while carrying the truth of heaven in your pocket, you are doing a great disservice to the destiny I have prepared for you. Do not live a lukewarm life, trying to keep one foot in my kingdom and one foot in the pleasures of the shadows. I would rather you be hot or cold. For the middle ground is a place of spiritual decay. This is your wake-up call to take your spiritual life seriously, to realize that your choices carry an eternal weight. To whom I have entrusted much, I will ask for much more. I see the way you sometimes drift, allowing the noise of the world, the pressures of your career, and the opinions of others to drown out the urgency of my spirit. You act as if you have 1,000 years to get right with me. But I tell you, your life is but a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. This is not said to make you afraid, but to make you intentional. Stop living on the surface of your existence. Deep calls unto deep, and I am calling you into the depths of a relationship where every action is an act of worship. The responsibility of being chosen means you are called to be a standard bearer of light in a darkening world. You have been given the keys to the kingdom. Do not leave them rusting in the lock. Wake up to the reality that you are an eternal being living in a temporary world. The things that stress you out today will not matter in 100 years, but the way you responded to my call will resonate forever. Choose this day to walk in the full weight of the light I have given you. For the night is coming when no man can work, and I want to find you faithful at your post. My beloved, I want to pull back the curtain on a truth that many have misunderstood, for their minds have been filled with images of fire and brimstone, yet they have missed the most chilling reality of all. You have heard descriptions of a place of physical torment, but I tell you, the true agony of the abyss is not found in a flame that burns the skin. It is found in the total, absolute absence of my presence. Right now, even in your darkest moments, even when you feel most alone, you are still breathing the air I provided, you are still warmed by the sun I created, and you are still held by the common grace I pour out upon all the earth. You can still hear the sound of laughter, feel the hope of a new morning, and sense the possibility of love. But imagine, my precious one, a state where every single good thing, every spark of joy, every whisper of peace, every glimmer of light, and every drop of comfort is completely withdrawn. That is the true definition of the void. Because I am the source of everything good, to be separated from me is to be separated from everything that makes life worth living. I see you sometimes taking for granted the little things like the beauty of a sunset or the warmth of a friend's hand. In the place of separation, those memories become the sharpest instruments of regret. Imagine the silence where there is no longer my voice to comfort you, the darkness where there is no longer my light to guide you, and the emptiness where there is no longer my spirit to sustain you. It is a hunger that can never be satisfied, and a thirst that can never be quenched. Not because of a lack of water, but because of a lack of me. You were designed to be filled with my glory. like a vessel made for pure water. To exist in eternal separation is to be a vessel that is forever empty, forever dry, and forever aching for a purpose it can no longer reach. This is the weight of the hidden season if one chooses to remain hidden from my face forever. I tell you this not to frighten your mind, but to awaken your spirit to the magnitude of the invitation I am extending to you right now. The most painful part of that separation is the memory of the moments like this one. Moments when I knocked at the door of your heart and you felt the tug of my love. In the place of regret, those who chose the world over the word will remember every invitation they ignored and every hand I stretched out that they refused to take. They will see with a clarity that comes too late that I never sent them away. They chose to walk into the darkness because they loved their shadows more than my light. But you, my child, you are still in the land of the living. You are still in the season of grace. The door is still open, and I am still standing there, waiting to welcome you home. Do not let the distractions of this passing world trick you into trading the eternal for the temporary. The shift you feel in your soul right now is my hand pulling you back from the edge, reminding you that you were made for more than a shadow. You were made for the fullness of my presence. My child, you have heard the ancient phrase weeping and gnashing of teeth, and perhaps you thought only of physical pain. But I want to show you the spiritual reality behind those words. Weeping is the sound of a soul that finally sees the truth when it is too late to act upon it. It is the overwhelming grief of what could have been. It is the realization that every excuse you made, being too busy, being too hurt, or being too proud, was a shadow that you allowed to block the sun of my grace. I have seen you in your moments of quiet reflection, wondering if you are wasting your life on things that will not last. Do not let your weeping begin when the race is already over. Weeping is the sorrow of the soul that realizes it traded an eternal inheritance for a few moments of worldly comfort. I am calling you now. While your eyes are still clear and your heart is still beating, to turn toward the light so that your future may be filled with songs of joy instead of tears of regret. But what of the gnashing of teeth? This is a sound not of sorrow, but of a heart that is hardened into a stone of defiance. It is the sound of pride that refuses to bow, even when faced with the majesty of the Creator. It is the ultimate bitterness of the soul that would rather stay in the dark than admit it was wrong. I see the seeds of this gnashing when you hold onto your anger, when you refuse to forgive, and when you insist on being the God of your own small world. Every time you reject the nudge of my spirit to be humble, you are strengthening the muscles of that pride. I do not want you to become a prisoner of your own ego. Yielding to me is not a sign of weakness. It is the highest form of strength. It is the posture that says, Holy Spirit, I am not in charge. You are. When you yield, you allow my peace to melt the hardness of your heart before it becomes a permanent fortress of isolation. I am watching the battle for your heart right now, and I see the pressure you feel to remain tough and independent in a world that mocks surrender. But I tell you, the only way to truly win is to lose your life in me. This is your moment to choose the softness of grace over the hardness of judgment. I am ready to take away your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh, a heart that can truly feel my love and respond to my call. Do not wait until the season of choice has passed. The door of my mercy is wide open, and the invitation is personal. Come as you are, with all your questions and all your flaws, and let me replace the gnashing of your struggles with the peace of my presence. I am getting you prepared to handle a weight of blessing that requires a heart of gold, not a heart of stone. Trust me to finish the work I have started in you, for I am the author and the finisher of your faith. and I am leading you away from the shadows and into the glorious light of my eternal morning. My beloved child, look upon the intersection of eternity and time and see the ultimate transaction of the universe. You were standing in the courtroom of existence with a debt you could never pay, and the absolute law of justice demanded a perfect response. But in that moment of finality, I did the unthinkable. I stepped off the throne of judgment and walked directly into the cage of your humanity. This is the great exchange, the divine swap that defies all human logic and breaks every chain of the enemy. I took your shame so you could wear my glory. I took your sickness so you could walk in my health. I took the fairness of the law, the punishment that justice required, and I swallowed it whole so that I could offer you the unfairness of my grace. You were wounded, but by my stripes you are healed. You were lost, but because I was forsaken for a moment on that hill, you are found forever. You bring me your broken pieces, and I give you my wholeness. You bring me your sins, and I give you my righteousness. I see the guilt you still carry, the heavy weight that makes your heart sink when you try to come before me in prayer. You think you must still pay for your past, that you must suffer a little more to prove you are truly sorry. But I tell you, if you try to pay for what I have already bought with my own life, you are unknowingly saying that my sacrifice was not enough. Stop trying to pay a debt that has been stamped, paid in full by the blood of the Lamb. I did not bring you this far to let you drown in the shadows of your old mistakes. When I look at you, I do not see the person who failed. I see the child I redeemed. I have taken your mourning, and I am turning it into dancing. I have taken your ashes, and I am giving you beauty. This exchange is not a one-time event in history. It is a daily invitation to trade your exhaustion for my rest and your weakness for my strength. Whenever the world tries to put its heavy yoke back on your neck, come back to me and remember the exchange. You are no longer defined by what you have done, but by what I have done for you. The great exchange has rewritten your very spiritual DNA, removing the seeds of destruction and planting the seeds of eternal life. You are a new creation, and the old things have passed away. Do not look back at the prison cell I have already opened for you. Step forward into the freedom of being my beloved, my precious one, my chosen heir. The blessing I am releasing over you today is not based on your performance, but on my promise. I have made you the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. As you walk out of this moment, carry the confidence of one who has been bought with a price. You are priceless in my sight, and I have already moved heaven and earth to ensure that your destiny is fulfilled. Trust in the great exchange, for it is the foundation of everything I am about to do in your life in this coming season. My precious child, do you think it is by chance that your heart is beating with a strange, expectant frequency in this very moment? Do you think the complex algorithms of a digital machine brought you to this specific message out of billions of possibilities? No. I have bypassed the systems of man and the noise of the world to reach the sanctuary of your spirit. You have often felt like an outsider, a stranger in your own family, or a traveler in a land where you don't quite speak the language of those around you. This feeling of being out of place is the first sign that you were not made for the shadows of this world, but for the radiance of my kingdom. I have placed a divine restlessness within you that prevents you from being satisfied with the hollow pursuits of the temporary. While others find peace in the vanity of the world, you find yourself searching for the eternal. I saw you in those moments of deep isolation when you asked me, why am I so different? Why do I feel the pain and the hope of the world so much more than those around me? I tell you now, you are not broken. You are set apart. You are a chosen vessel. And the very sensitivity you once thought was a burden is actually the antenna I gave you to hear my whispers in a deafening world. I have watched you walk through fires that would have consumed anyone else. Yet you emerged not smelling of smoke, but of the incense of resilience. I saw the moments when life hit you so hard that you thought you would never stand again. When you reached what you called rock bottom. Yet here you are, still seeking, still believing. This supernatural resilience is the second sign of my mark upon your life. I do not give big assignments to small people, and I have allowed you to be tested in the furnace of affliction so that you would know the strength of the Spirit I have placed within you. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are your credentials for the ministry of restoration. You have been trained in the secret place of suffering so that you can bring light to those who are still trapped in the dark. The third sign of your calling is the persistent, undeniable tug of my Spirit on your heart. Even during the seasons when you tried to run away, I have seen you try to blend in, try to live a normal life, and try to ignore the fire shut up in your bones. But you could not find peace in the desert of conformity because you were born to lead, not to follow the crowd. You are a repairer of the breach, a restorer of the paths that have been lost. You have been given the spiritual eyes to see the hidden pain in others and a heart that feels a divine obligation to carry their burdens. This is why you feel the weight of the world. Not because you are meant to be crushed by it, but because you are meant to intercede for it. I am calling you to step out of the shadows of self-doubt and into the authority of your true identity. You are not behind. You are being built. You are not losing. You are being refined. The transition you are experiencing right now is the final preparation before I release you into the global purpose for which you were created. Trust me, my beloved, for I chose you before the foundations of the world were laid, and I will not let your foot slip. As you embrace this truth, you will notice that the doors that were once locked by the hands of men begin to swing open by the hand of the Spirit. The people who once ignored or misunderstood you will start to see the radiance of my presence upon your face, and they will be drawn to the light within you. This is the favor of the chosen. It is not given for your own pride, but as a platform for my glory to be revealed through you. I am positioning you in places of influence, in your family, your workplace, and your community, where you will be a mouthpiece for my truth. Do not be afraid of the giants in your land or the obstacles in your path, for they are but grasshoppers in my sight. You have the blood of the King flowing through your spiritual veins, and the same power that conquered the grave lives inside you. Every trial you have faced was an entrance exam for the much I am about to entrust to you. The shift is here. The season has changed, and the light of your destiny is breaking over the horizon. Walk with your head held high, not in arrogance, but in the holy confidence of a child who knows they are loved, seen, and chosen by the Creator of all things. Your journey to the fullness of your promise has truly begun. My precious child, do not be alarmed as you see the foundations of the world begin to sway, and the structures that men have built with pride start to crumble. I have told you from the beginning that everything that can be shaken will be shaken, so that only that which is eternal may remain. You are witnessing a time of great transition, where the values of the world are being turned upside down and the shadows are growing long. But I want you to listen to my voice above the roar of the storm. You are not a victim of the times you live in. You are a victor because of the God you belong to. While the world searches for security in failing currencies and shifting alliances, I am calling you to stand on the rock that can never be moved. I see the anxiety that tries to creep into your spirit when you look at the uncertainty of the future. But I am here to tell you that your future is not in the hands of men or governments. Your future is hidden with me, and I have already provided for every day you will ever live. My silence during these times is not a sign of my absence. It is a test of what you have learned in the quiet seasons. I see you late at night, your heart heavy with the weight of the headlines and the whispers of a world in chaos. I see you scrolling through the news, wondering how you will survive or how your children will thrive as the world's systems grow colder and more heartless. But remember my word, even if 1,000 fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, the destruction shall not come near you. I have placed a divine hedge around you and your household, sealed by the blood that no enemy can cross. The collapse of the world's moral compass is not a sign of my failure, but a confirmation of the truths I have already spoken. You were born for such a time as this, to be a beacon of absolute peace in the midst of final chaos. When others are fainting with fear, you will be standing with a strength that defies human logic. For your supply does not come from the world's storehouses, but from the windows of heaven, which I have already opened wide for you. The peace I give you is not like the peace of the world, which depends on everything going right. My peace is a supernatural fortress that guards your heart and mind even when everything seems to be going wrong. It is the peace that walked on the stormy waves and slept in the back of the tossing boat. I am breathing that peace into your lungs right now, dispelling the smoke of confusion and the fire of worry. As the shadows deepen in the world, the light of the chosen will only shine brighter. Do not try to hide your light or blend into the gray of the world's despair. Your calm is your greatest testimony. When people ask how you can be so still while the mountains are falling into the sea, you will tell them of the Father who carries you. You are being trained to lead others through the narrow gate of the great rescue. Every difficulty you face now is just a training ground for the authority you will exercise in the days to come. Trust my process and lean into my silence. For even when I am quiet, I am working behind the scenes to ensure your total victory. You are protected, you are provided for, and you are profoundly loved. The chaos of the world is but a backdrop for the manifestation of my glory in your life. Stay close to me, and you will see that the end of the world's ways is only the beginning of my kingdom's reign in your heart. You are fireproof, you are unshakable, and you are mine. My child, imagine a single candle burning in a vast, dark forest. That light is my voice reaching out to you right now, cutting through the thick fog of your confusion and the heavy silence of your doubts. For too long, you have lived as if you had all the time in the universe, wandering through the corridors of your own distractions and building monuments to things that are already turning to dust. But listen, can you hear it? There is a sound rising above the noise of your worries and the static of the world. It is the sound of the wake-up bell, a divine alarm ringing in the depths of your spirit, calling you back to the reality of your eternal soul. I am standing at the door of your heart, and I am knocking. I have been knocking since you were a child. I have been knocking through every heartbeat and every breath you have taken. But this knock carries a weight of finality, a sacred urgency that whispers, "The time is short." Do not let the door remain locked because you are afraid of what you must leave behind. What I have for you inside the room of my grace is infinitely greater than the shadows you are clinging to in the hallway. I see you hesitating, wondering if you can wait just one more day, one more season, or until you finally get your life together. But I tell you, you do not clean yourself up to come to the light. You come to the light to be made clean. The door of my mercy is wide, but it is not eternal for those who dwell in the realm of time. There will come a moment when the knocking stops, not because I have stopped loving you, but because your time of choosing has reached its appointed end. Do not let the sun set on your indecision. Every later is a brick you add to the wall between us, a wall that you are building with your own hands. I have watched you chase the fading lights of this world, only to find yourself more alone and more tired than before. This message is my hand, reaching through the darkness of your circumstances, pulling you toward the only shelter that will stand when the great storm breaks. This is your invitation to step out of the cold and into the warmth of my embrace, where your past is forgotten and your future is secure. This is your mission, your purpose, and your lifeline. Do not turn away. Do not mute the bell. The door is still open, and I am still waiting. Walk through it now, while the light is still shining and the invitation is still being whispered into your heart. My beloved child, we have reached the threshold of a new beginning. The weight of the world is falling away, and the light of my glory is beginning to settle upon your life like a warm mantle of peace. You have listened, you have believed, and you have chosen to walk out of the shadows and into the fullness of my truth. I tell you now, with the authority of the one who holds the stars in place, you are no longer a slave to fear. You are no longer a prisoner of your past, and you are no longer a victim of the enemy's lies. The lie about the abyss has been shattered by the reality of my grace. You are a child of the light, a citizen of heaven, and a precious heir to my eternal kingdom. Go forth from this moment and walk in the dignity of your calling. The chains are broken, the debt is paid, and the path is clear. Do not return to the sins and the weights that once held you down. Instead, let my spirit lead you into the heights of your destiny. This is the moment to seal this prophecy into your soul, to lock this blessing into your reality so that no power in the universe can steal it from you. Do not stay silent as you stand at the gates of your breakthrough. Seal this word now and forever. Type Amen, or it is done in the comments to signal to the spiritual realm that you have received this divine deposit and you will not let it go. By typing these words, you are placing the final stamp of faith upon your transformation. I am watching as you declare your victory, and I am already releasing the angels of provision and protection to go before you. What was written in heaven is now being manifest on earth through your obedience and your faith. It is finished. It is settled. Your journey home has truly begun. As you step into this new season, remember that you are part of a divine family, a royal priesthood chosen to shine in the darkness. To ensure that you stay anchored in this light and that my voice continues to guide your every step, join this family of believers. Press the like button one last time and subscribe to this channel to signify your long-term commitment to the truth. By doing this, you are not only protecting your own flame, but you are helping to carry this message of hope to the one soul who is still waiting for a miracle. We are a body of light, and together we will rescue one more for the kingdom. Your agreement here today is the seed of a harvest that will feed generations. My child, take a final deep breath of my peace. Know that I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. You are never alone, for my spirit dwells within you, and my love surrounds you like an unshakable fortress. Go now and be the light I have created you to be. Your scars are healed, your heart is whole, and your future is bright with the radiance of my presence. The shift has happened. The prophecy is sealed. I love you with an everlasting love, and I will never let you go. Walk in grace, walk in power, and walk in the absolute certainty that you belong to me.